In Ashes to Crown, 99% of viewers still do not realize that these details had already exposed the truth. Chu Zhao was not reborn for the first time. She was reborn for the second time. After watching one rebirth drama after another over the years, most viewers thought they had already seen through every familiar formula. At first, Ashes to Crown seemed like another standard rebirth story. But unexpectedly, the plot hides a major reversal. The more one examines it, the more surprising it becomes, because countless details in the drama are quietly hinting at one thing. Chu Zhao is absolutely not experiencing rebirth for the first time. The Chu Zhao we are watching is already her third version. Do not rush to deny it. Once the clues are laid out carefully, everything becomes clear. The most direct hints come from the dialogue. Many of Chu Zhao's instinctive lines have already revealed that she has been reborn more than once. The first line is, "Wouldn't everything in this life be ruined again?" That single word, again, carries a hidden mystery. In her first life, Chu Zhao was ignorant from beginning to end. She was framed, harmed, and destroyed before she even had the chance to take revenge. So where would this idea of everything being ruined again come from? Clearly, she had already tried to turn the situation around before, only for that attempt to end in failure. The second line is when she says that in the previous life, Xie Yan Lai also helped her escape from the capital in the same way. But in her first life, after the Red Banquet incident, she was imprisoned in the garden. She never successfully escaped, and Xie Yan Lai never appeared to save her. That statement simply does not match the experience of her first life. These two lines are already direct enough. They prove that Chu Zhao had been reborn before, and that her previous revenge plan had failed. Then look at the logic of the story. In her first life, Chu Zhao was still innocent and naive. She was deceived by her former husband until her family was destroyed. Before her death, she only knew that the other side had planned the Red Banquet and framed her family. She had no idea about his hidden collusion or secret schemes. But after rebirth, she is completely certain about these things. That means she must have uncovered all the truth during an intermediate lifetime. Her attitude towards Xie Yan Lai is even more suspicious. In her first life, Xie Yan Lai was only an ordinary attendant to her. Their bond was not especially deep. But in this life, Chu Zhao trusts him completely. She even tells him the secret of her rebirth. If this were only her second life, even after starting over once, it would be very difficult for her to entrust herself to him without reservation. Only by experiencing another life in between could she fully see everyone's true nature and become certain that Xie Yan Lai was worthy of trust. It is precisely this knowledge accumulated across 3 lifetimes that allows the third version of Chu Zhao to advance step by step, controlling everyone with perfect precision. Aside from the dialogue, the director also buried many subtle clues. These hidden details are full of a 3-lifetime code. The first detail is the door of rebirth shown in the drama. There are 3 doors, directly confirming the idea of 3 lives. The second detail is the bell sounds in the first episode. The repeated ringing 3 times is definitely not a coincidence. It echoes the cycle of 3 lifetimes. The third detail appears in the promotional poster and behind-the-scenes materials. When Chu Zhao and the little prince are surrounded, she is the one holding the sword in those materials. But in the official episode, it is the male lead who catches it instead. This points to different outcomes in different previous lives. The fourth detail is that Chen Duling, who plays Chu Zhao, posted 3 Chu Zhao posters. Each expression is different, clearly corresponding to 3 separate lives. There are countless details like this throughout the drama. Every clue is carefully designed. None of it is accidental. What we thought was only a simple rebirth story had actually been hiding the secret of a 3-life cycle all along. In the previous life, they were the young emperor and empress. In this life, they are destined enemies. Chu Zhao gave Xiao Xun the purest love and the most extreme hatred. If there is one phrase that best represents the greatness of female characters in film and television in 2026, it is probably the rise of women who refuse to remain soft, helpless flowers. In one story, a woman begins as a butcher's wife in the marketplace, charges onto the battlefield, kills enemies, protects civilians, and restores the dignity and spirit of a general's daughter. She is a true ruler of the mountains. In Ashes to Crown, Chu Zhao is the general's daughter who once gave her love to the wrong person. Carrying a sea of blood and hatred, she is reborn. As the grand princess who guards a state, she governs from behind the curtain and stabilizes the realm. Chu Zhao is no delicate little flower. She is a fierce tiger whose authority shakes the court. The age of weak heroines is already over. The age of powerful female leads has arrived. With such authority and such a heroine, Ashes to Crown has no right to be anything less than exciting. A woman-centered revenge story built on ambition. A couple bound by pure hatred and a sea of love and resentment. A loyal guard who follows her through life and death. A powerful minister whose love makes even the proud bow their heads. Even a younger man's devotion that feels like another version of a legendary forbidden romance. Each emotional thread, taken alone, could support an entire drama. But in Ashes to Crown, there is nothing the story cannot contain. If the extreme destiny between Xie Yan Lai and Chu Zhao is an instinctive salvation between two people standing on the edge of the same cliff, then the intense push and pull between Xiao Xun and Chu Zhao is the merciless reversal of love and hatred. Once sincerity enters a sincere relationship, it may no longer feel rare. But when a trace of true feeling is mixed into a false affection, it becomes the finest form of old-school tragic romance. A love-hate entanglement like this never seems to go out of style, no matter the era. When the ambitious heir of Prince Xiao Xun approaches the innocent only daughter of a military general for the sake of military power, the atmosphere instantly becomes chilling. It feels like a romance that asks, "Do you want to fall in love? The kind where I destroy your entire family?" Unfortunately, in her previous life, Chu Zhao hated the dusty frontier lands. She desperately wanted to escape Yunzhong Commandery and only wished to become a noblewoman in the capital like her mother. As the only daughter of Chu Ling, the great war god and guardian general, Chu Zhao became a stepping stone on Xiao Xun's path to rebellion. Chu Ling had warned her that the capital, despite its surface prosperity, was nothing more than a man-eating prison. But Chu Zhao did not believe him. She insisted on walking into the trap herself. Unable to blend into the noble women's circle, Chu Zhao met Xiao Xun, the gentle and affectionate hostage prince. How could she have known that Xiao Xun may truly have felt something for her, but that feeling was insignificant when placed beside imperial power and his grand ambitions? During the 5 years Xiao Xun spent as a hostage in the capital, he spent 3 full years with Chu Zhao. Yet it was all a carefully staged deception. He pretended to save her like a hero. He humbly sought a marriage agreement. He treated Chu Zhao as a bargaining chip to obtain the 200,000 border troops in Chu Ling's hands. Among all those bound to Chu Zhao, Xiao Xun is truly hateful, yet he is also the one most worthy of envy. After all, he was the only one who received Chu Zhao's purest love and her most extreme hatred. Back then, Chu Zhao insisted on being with Xiao Xun, even if it meant breaking with her father. On the night of Chu Zhao and Xiao Xun's wedding, the third prince murdered the crown prince and raised troops in rebellion. The capital was stormed by rebels and fell into chaos. At that time, Chu Zhao did not know what role Xiao Xun had played in the rebellion. She did not know he had betrayed the Eastern Palace. She only saw him kill the third prince and end the uprising. The crown prince died. The third prince was executed. The eldest imperial grandson died amid the chaos. With no successor left, before the late emperor passed away, Xiao Xun, who had supposedly stabilized the crisis, was recognized as a legitimate imperial heir and ascended the throne under the imperial edict. The day Xiao Xun became emperor was also the day he and Chu Zhao became emperor and empress. By the time Chu Ling arrived in the capital, everything had already been settled. For the sake of his daughter and under the pressure of the situation, Chu Ling had no choice but to submit. Before he could even see Chu Zhao, he returned to Yunzhong Commandery. For the next 3 years, Chu Zhao and Xiao Xun appeared to be a loving and devoted young imperial couple. But Chu Zhao did not understand that a gentle blade can still take a person's life with every cut. She helped Xiao Xun with government affairs and supported him with all her heart. But once Xiao Xun's influence had sunk deep into the court and power was firmly in his hands, he wanted to seize control of the military as well. Xiao Xun knew very well that Chu Ling had submitted to the ruler, not accepted him as the emperor. For 3 years after his ascension, rumors that he had risen to power through a woman never stopped. So, on Chu Zhao's birthday, Xiao Xun summoned Chu Ling back and framed him for secretly colluding with King Shuomo. He even framed Chu Zhao's uncle for sheltering the eldest imperial grandson. The day Chu Zhao reunited with her father became the day the Chu family was wiped out. This general's daughter, who had loved Xiao Xun with all her heart, this empress of the realm, was not only forced to drink poisoned wine, but was also strangled because her death was not considered cruel enough. Before Chu Zhao closed her eyes, she saw Xie Yan Lai, who had guarded her for 3 years under her father's order, charge alone into the palace with one sword and kill Xiao Xun. But the Chu family's injustice and Chu Zhao's hatred should have been repaid by Chu Zhao herself. That is why the reborn Chu Zhao returned. She was the blade forged from all her resentment and hatred. She was the knife she brought back from hell, meant only to let her personally take revenge. When she was reborn, the Red Banquet had not yet happened. Chu Zhao had not yet married Xiao Xun. Everything was still in time. Just as the Chu Zhao of the previous life never understood why Xiao Xun could be so cruel to her, the Xiao Xun of this life also does not understand why Chu Zhao opposes him at every turn, even wanting to take his life. But the reborn Chu Zhao understands one thing clearly. If she does not want to become meat on the chopping block, she must be the first to raise the blade. In her last life, he was the butcher, and she was the fish. She watched helplessly as the Chu family was destroyed. But after living again, with people standing behind her and officials kneeling beneath her feet, the person manipulating the storms of the court has become her. Even though the palace coup happened earlier and Chu Zhao was placed under house arrest by Xiao Xun in the name of protection, she is no longer the naive girl she once was. With only a slight frown, a plan forms in her mind. She saves the eldest imperial grandson, becomes the grand princess, and directly cuts off Xiao Xun's early advantage. Is it difficult to be a grand princess who protects the state without real power or bloodline authority? Xiao Xun, as the imperial uncle, watches her like a tiger stalking its prey. The Xie family's generations of achievements are as solid as a fortress. Deng Yi, the grand tutor, supervises the state by imperial order. None of them can be moved easily. Then she will break them one by one. In her previous life, Chu Zhao could participate in politics and was used by Xiao Xun while also being resented by him. She was never an empty-headed beauty. She was never merely a pretty vase. Xie Yan Feng, the famous third young master of the Xie family, cannot withstand careful flattery. Deng Yi has principles and boundaries, yet he is both deeply filial and greedy for money. Xie Yan Lai, the Xie family's overlooked son, has suffered suppression from the Xie family since childhood, so Chu Zhao raises him into the Imperial Guard commander and makes him the sharpest blade in her hand. No matter how Xiao Xun schemes, in this life, he is destined to die by Chu Zhao's hand. What Chu Zhao does not expect is that in her previous life, when she loved him with all her heart, what she received was his ruthless abandonment. But in this life, when she hates him to the bone, she awakens his obsessive desire to possess her. She schemes only to kill him. He counters every move only to obtain her. In their previous life, they were the young emperor and empress. In this life, they are destined enemies. What a magnificent sea of love and hatred. Among Chu Zhao's many pairings, this pure hatred pairing truly deserves the highest score.